Tribes, nomads, and settled communities. With the emergence of various groups, crafts, arts, and production activities changed. But the social life was not same everywhere because of difference in the society. The people were divided into four groups: high and low, and rich and poor. These groups were divided by Brahmins and were accepted by the kings. In the period of Delhi Sultans and Mughals, this difference grew further. A society tribe is a group of those people who did not follow the social rules and rituals prescribed by the Brahmins. They were also not divided into various unequal classes. All the members of the tribe were united by kinship bond. Many source of the livelihood of the tribes was agriculture or hunting as per the area in which they lived, by utilizing full natural resources of the area. Nomadic tribes are those people who move from one place to another place. Tribes usually lived in forests, hills, deserts, and places which were difficult to reach. Tribal people always retained their freedom and they preserved their culture in various ways. But the dependence of caste-based and tribal societies on each other for their various needs, which led to the change in both the societies. As the tribal people never retained any written record, so the travelers gave very scanty information about them. They passed their custom and culture through verbal communication, which was passed on from one generation to other generation. Some tribes were powerful and covered large parts of the territories, while the others were small, but they were found in every part of the subcontinent. In the 13th and 14th century, Khokar tribe of Punjab was very influential. After them, Gakhars became very important. The chief of Gakhars, Kamal Khan Gakhar, was made a Mansabdar by Emperor Akbar. Balochis were another large and powerful tribe in the northeast. They were further divided into many smaller clans under different chiefs. Gaddis were the tribe of western Himalaya. In the 12th century, in present-day Bihar and Jharkhand, Chior chiefdoms emerged. In 1591, Chiors were defeated by Akbar's general Raja Man Singh. In the northwest region, Balochi was the powerful tribe. They were internally divided into smaller clans under different chiefs. A clan is a group of families or households claiming descent from a common ancestor. Kolis, Berards, and various others were found in Maharashtra highlands and Karnataka. Kolis were also found in Gujarat. In the western and central India, Bhil tribe were found. By late 16th century, most of the Bhils settled as agriculturists or even zamindars. Many of them became hunter-gatherers. In Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Andhra Pradesh, Gonds were found in large numbers. Now let us learn how nomadic people lived and who they were. Nomads are wandering people who move from one place to another. Many of them are pastoralists who roam from one pasture to another with their flocks and herds. They often visit the same place every year. The nomadic pastoralists moved from one place to another, traveling large distance with their animals. They consume milk and other pastoral products. They also exchange wool, ghee, and other pastoral products with the agriculturists for grain, cloth, and other products. Banjaras were one of the most important trader nomads. They moved in caravan, and their caravan was termed as Tanda. Most of the time, they used to transport some material from one place to another. They were used by Sultan Alauddin Khilji to transport grains to the city market. They also transported food grains for the Mughal army soldiers during military campaigns. Many pastoral tribes sometimes sold animals, such as cattle and horse, to the prosperous people. They also entertained people by performing in different towns and villages for their livelihood. They also made rope, reeds, etc., and sold them in the market for their livelihood. Jatis. As the change in society evolved, the new skills in people were required. Brahmins divided smiths, carpenters, and masons as a separate jati. These jatis were the basis for organizing society. Rattakaras were the people whose occupation included architecture, building coaches and chariots, erecting gateways for temples with images in them, preparing wooden equipment used to perform sacrifices, building mandapas for wedding, and jewels for the kings. In the 11th and 12th century, Rajputs and Kshatritas became very powerful. They all belonged to different lineages such as Hunas, Chandelas, Chalukyas, and others. In agriculture areas, they replaced other rulers. Many of these Rajputs were tribes earlier and became an inspiration to the tribes. Tribes were included in the caste system by the Brahmins. Most of them, however, were included in lower caste, and only few of them were included in the upper caste. Many dominant tribe Punjab, like Sindh, adopted Islam, and they continued their rejection towards the caste system. They termed caste system as orthodox Hinduism and was not accepted in these areas. Now we will learn about Gonds in this slide. Gonds were a group of people who lived in Gondwana, that is, the area inhabited by Gonds. They adopted shifting cultivation and practiced it. Now, what is shifting cultivation? In the shifting cultivation, the trees and bushes in the forest area are firstly cut and then burnt. Then the crop is sown in ashes, and when the land loses its fertility, another land is cleared and planted in the same way. Gonds were divided into many clans, which are used by Raja or Rai. In Akbarnama, history of Akbar's reign also mentioned about the Gond kingdom of Gadha Katanga that had 70,000 villages in the kingdom. The administrative system of the Gonds kingdom was centralized. The kingdom was divided into Gads, and each Gad was controlled by a Gond chief. Each Gad was further divided into 84 Chaurasi, and the Chaurasi was further divided into Barhots, and each Barhot was made up of 12 villages. With the emergence of the large states, they were also divided into unequal social classes. Brahmins became more influential as the Gond Rajas gave land grants to Brahmins. Gond chiefs wanted to become a Rajput. Hence, Amandas, the Gond Raja of Gadha Katanga, assumed the title of Sangam Shah. His son, Dalpat, got married with the daughter of Salbahan, Durgavati, and the princess of Mahoba. Dalpat died in early age, but Rani Durgavati was very powerful and capable. She started to rule on behalf of a 5-year-old son, Bir Narayan. In 1565, Mughal forces under Asaf Khan attacked Gadha Katanga, and a strong opposition was shown by Rani Durgavati. But she was defeated, and she preferred to die rather than surrender. Her son also died fighting with Mughals. Gadha Katanga was a very rich state. They exported wild elephants to other kingdoms. When the Mughals defeated the Gonds, a huge booty of precious coins and elephants was captured by them. The rest part of the kingdom was then given to Bear Narayan's uncle Chandra Shah. Gond kingdom survived for some time more, but they became so weak and later on were defeated by Bandelas and Marathas. Ahoms. Now let us learn about the Ahoms. They migrated from the Brahmaputra valley in the 13th century. They suppressed the old political system of landlords and created a new state. In the 16th century, kingdoms of the Chattias and of Koch Hajo were annexed by them. Ahoms built a large state by using firearms and successfully making high-quality gunpowder and cannons by the 1660. Many invasions were faced from southwest. Mughals under Mir Jumla attacked Ahoms in 1662. Ahoms gave them a brave fight, but they were defeated by Mughals. Ahom state was dependent on forced labor. And the forced labor was known as payaks. When the census was taken of the population, people from heavily populated areas were shifted to lesser populated areas. By the first half of the 17th century, the Ahom administration was centralized. All the males were serving in the army during war, and other than it, they all were engaged in building dams, in irrigation, or other works. Ahoms gave a new method of rice cultivation. Ahoms had very few artisans, so artisans came from other kingdoms in Ahom area. Initially, Ahom worshipped their own tribal gods, but as in the 17th century, the influence of Brahmanas increased. King granted land for the temples. During 1714 to 44, in the reign of Seep Singh, Hinduism became predominant in the region. In Ahom's area, theatre was encouraged. The historical work Buranjis was first written in Ahom, and then later on it was translated to Assamese.
Absorption of tribals into general society. As the medieval kingdoms expanded their boundaries, they took over the territories of many of these tribes. The resident tribes were absorbed into the general society. The disgruntled tribal families were often given Kshatriya status. The Khokhars and Ghakkars were powerful tribes of Punjab who settled down as farmers. Some of their chiefs were given high administrative posts. For example, Akbar made the Ghakkar chief Kamal Khan Ghakkar a mansabdar. The absorption of the tribes was not always easy. Some hill tribes of the northwest resisted absorption. In many areas of present-day Bihar and Jharkhand, Chiro chiefdoms had emerged. Raja Man Singh, Akbar's famous general, attacked and defeated the Chiros in 1591. A large amount of booty was taken from them, but they were not entirely subdued. Under Aurangzeb, Mughal forces captured many Chiro fortresses and subjugated the tribe. The Mundas and Santals were among the other important tribes that lived in the region of Odisha and Bengal. Maharashtra and Karnataka were home to Kolis, Berards, and numerous other tribes. Further south, there were large tribal populations of Koragas and Maravars. The large tribes of Bhils spread across western and central India. The Gonds were found in great numbers across the present-day states of Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Andhra Pradesh. The origin of Jats is tribal, and their early historical accounts show them as pastoral. They seem to have moved into Punjab from Sindh and abandoned pastoralism. Akbar's historian Badoni mentions them as being in the stage between pastoralism and agriculture. Jats of Punjab. Jats attained their political importance in the second half of the 17th century when there was a serious uprising of the Jats near Mathura under the leadership of Gokhla. In 1685, the Jats plundered Akbar's tomb in Sikandra, and fighting continued till Raja Bishan Singh of Amber stormed the Jat stronghold of Singhani and crushed them. However, the Jats managed to unite against the Mughal emperors and expanded their kingdom. The kingdom reached its peak under Surajmal, who captured Bharatpur and extended his kingdom around Mewar. Surajmal was appointed as the Faujdar of Mathura by the Mughals. The growth of Jat powers angered the Marathas, who wanted to subdue them. Surajmal defeated the Marathas and also Ahmad Shah Abdali, who attacked Jats. However, Surajmal met an untimely death as he was shot dead by Nazib-ud-Dawla, the Afghan vice-regent at Delhi. The Jat kingdom, through a tribal confederacy, did give a jolt to Mughal empire. They left an imprint of bravery, courage, and military diplomacy in history. Gonds. The Gonds are one of the largest and most well-known tribal communities in India. The name Gond is probably derived from Telugu word Konda, meaning hills. Thus, the name indicates the hilly region in which most of the Gonds live. In Madhya Pradesh, there was a small but powerful Gond kingdom until the 18th century. The Gonds, though predominantly Hindu, worshipped their own gods. The Gonds mainly practiced shifting cultivation. They also grew cereals and maintained animal husbandry. They belonged to the category of very large tribes like Santals and Bhils. However, much like the other tribals, the Gonds have suffered from increasing landlessness in the past 50 years. The Gonds lived in Gondwana, which included the forests in central India and Chhattisgarh. The region was rich in precious metals and forest products. In the 15th century, various Gond tribes of the region united to form a large Gond kingdom called Garhakatanga. The Gonds came into close contact with the Rajputs, and some Gond chiefs were able to marry into Rajput families. Amandas, who was one of the earliest Gond kings, married his son Dalpat Shah to the Rajput princess Durgavati of Bundelkhand. However, Dalpat died young, leaving behind his queen and minor son Bir Narayan. Garhakatanga grew prosperous under the able leadership of Rani Durgavati, who ruled on behalf of Bir Narayan. Akbar's armies invaded Garhakatanga. Rani Durgavati bravely defended her kingdom, but killed herself when her defeat became certain. Her son also died fighting. The kingdom of Garhakatanga was known for its riches. The Mughals got a large booty of gold, silver, and elephants. Akbar expanded his province of Malwa by annexing parts of Garhakatanga. Later, the Gond territories were taken over by the Marathas, Ahoms. The Ahoms belonged to the Shan tribe of southern China and Southeast Asia. They are one of the main tribes in Assam in northeast India. It is believed that the name of Assam is derived from Ahom. They migrated into Brahmaputra Valley in the early 13th century. By the 16th century, they conquered the tribal kingdom of Kutiyas and won control over the entire eastern part and a section of the western part of the valley. At this time, the land in this region was controlled by non-tribal landlords called Bhutians. They were employed as officials by the Ahom rulers. The rulers of Bengal competed with the Ahoms for control over the Brahmaputra Valley. They took control of the western part of the valley. The Ahoms retained control over the eastern part. In the 17th century, the Ahoms bravely resisted the military expansion of the Mughals into their region. The British overthrew the Ahoms in the 19th century. The Ahoms lived in houses built of locally available material such as bamboo. Rice cultivation has the main occupation, and the food of the Ahom included rice, the meat of pig, and fowls. The Ahom rulers maintained a workforce which played an important role during war and peace. Its members were called Paiks, served as soldiers, and also built dams and roads. With the exception of nobles, nearly all males aged 15 to 60 years had to do compulsory public service. All land under rice cultivation belonged to the state. Every Paik was given a certain amount of this land to cultivate. Although Ahoms descended from the Buddhists' Shan tribe, they were not Buddhist. They worshipped tribal gods, though some Ahom rulers adopted Hinduism. Chukapha, the first Ahom king, brought an idol of the deity which has been regarded as the main deity of the Ahoms. Most of the Ahoms strictly follow Hindu customs and beliefs. The Ahom kings built temples for Hindu deities like Vaishnavite temple. Even though Ahoms built Hindu temples, they continued to worship their own tribal gods. They also used their tribal language along with Assamese and followed their tribal customs. Trivia: Bhils are the largest tribe of South Asia. This Indian tribe is mentioned even in epics like the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Shabri, who offered Bed to Lord Ram, is said to belong to this tribe. Trivia: In Andhra Pradesh, there are about 33 kinds of tribes. Important among these are Khonds, Kolamis, Valmikis, Bhagats, Jatayus, Gadahas, and Chenchus, etc. They are spread along the Deccan Plateau and the rivers Krishna and Godavari.